Hello and welcome to a Let's Play special for FIGARO. I'm going to call this the Let's Play FIGARO Rainfall. So as you may know, the Snowfall DLC has come out 2 days ago, I think 3 days ago by now. I've actually recorded up to Let's Play episode 13, and at this point of recording I've only uploaded up to episode 11, so I'm jumping ahead a couple of episodes if you're watching this. Just to show you what changed for the base game. So if you have After Dark, if you have the original City Skylines, and you happen to buy Snowfall, that DLC is going to unlock snow for snow maps, but it's going to also unlock rain for every other maps that you may already have. So I have a European map, and there's also a bunch of other features, but since we're on this Snowfall Rainfall theme, I thought it would be the best to start with a raining night. So this is FIGARO. It's at night. It's raining. I've paused the game, but they actually did a really nice effect with the rain. So you can actually see that this isn't like a cheap overlay of rain effects. You can actually see that the rain particles are floating in the air in space, and you can, as you pan around. You can actually, it's kind of hard to see it maybe as rain, but the snow effects are amazing. But if you watch the lamppost there, you can see that it's illuminating particles of water that's floating in mid-space. So if I turn on the simulation and then I pan the camera around, it's going to actually look quite nice. And you can also see that everything's wet. All the roads and stuff are wet. So yeah, this is actually a really nice effect, a lot nicer than I thought it would be, because I heard people complaining that the snow effects didn't look that awesome. But to be quite honest, I'm really more impressed with the rain than I am with the snow, because the rain actually, well, it's on every city that you have built, it will rain. So basically, you can basically watch your city in a whole new light. The snowfall, you have to go to a snow map for a custom look. And here, look here. This is an overpass here, and then we have our rain coming down here, which is quite interesting. Like a dark and stormy night. You can just watch some guy in a trench coat walk by. Okay, so this won't be a full Let's Play episode, obviously. I want to do episode 14 under Snowfall DLC, but this is kind of a quick overview to show you what's new. One thing that's new is you'll see here that there's a temperature gauge, and there was a lot of kerfuffle about Snowfall is going to be for snow maps, snow is not going to be in regular maps. So a lot of people were unhappy. They felt like, what about the city we spent all this time building? We're not going to get to play the new mechanics. But actually, they're quite wrong about that. Okay, they're not going to see minus 20 degrees on their normal map, because it's not going to snow, and it's not going to snow like you're living in Finland or Sweden or Norway. But it's still going to get down there. I think I've seen like 9 degrees. And at night, if I go to this new panel, there's these two new options here. We'll get to this in a bit. But let's look at this heating option. You can actually see that my city is actually consuming an extra 82 megawatts of electricity because it's colder at night. And right now, my whole city is turned off. There's no heating because I haven't insulated my city for anything. So I don't know if it's going to be worth the effort. I've run this a few times. I think the highest I've seen this is about 150 megawatts of extra power consumption. That's basically one of these, maybe 1.5 of these oil power plants. So it might be worth my effort to do some heating, at least for part of my city at a later time. But you'll see here my electricity usage is actually quite high. And it's going to get higher actually right around dawn when it's the coldest, and when I'm switching between solar and and just my fossil fuel. So actually, I'm going to turn my coal power plant on. I actually built an extra power plant here just to, and it's costing me this much money to supply the extra electricity. So it might be worth my while actually to insulate my city or to have central heating for my city. The other new thing here is this thing called Road Maintenance Depot. Basically, if we go here and you look here, all the roads that are green, that's not traffic, that's actually roads that have been boosted. So this is basically, I think, a bit of a freebie giveaway by the developers to existing players. You can build it in any city, and all it does is it speeds up. If I go into the tooltip, it'll tell you what it does. Road Maintenance Depot houses maintenance vehicles. They travel around the city to boost roads, allowing travel at higher than normal speeds. So most roads have speed limits, right? So this one supports medium traffic, speed 50. These quite common, speed 40. So I assume it'll let the cars on those roads travel at 40 plus. So it's not taking away anything. Like, your roads don't break if you don't build these depots, but you're just going to stay at current speeds. What this depot does is it makes your road go faster. So, imagine waking up tomorrow morning and have the government say, we've actually invented a new pavement that lets all cars travel 20% faster at no expense to you, or maybe at minimal expense. So it's kind of an unrealistic thing, but I think they've just done it to improve traffic all around. So that's a nice thing that they did. It's a new building. Again, it's, people were saying we're not getting anything out of the Snowfall DLC if you're playing on your old city. Not really true about on that aspect. There's also a few new things you can place down as your health. There's actually a new building called a sauna, which actually improves the health. So right now we have clinics that takes people away, clinics and hospitals that take people away when they get sick. We have cemeteries that bury people when they die, and we have crematoriums also that bury people or burn people when they die. Now we actually have our first building that improves their health and also increases happiness. So this is a new thing. It's new to City Skylines because there's actually no preventive buildings. This is the first one to kind of come up from there. So I'm going to find out where, I think I was going to put one here because this is where you can see here it's less blue. There's some patches of orange here actually. So we're going to do that. And we're going to call this is this Kent Park here? Yeah, okay. We're going to call this the Kent Sauna. Okay. So, yeah, and I was talking about possibly heating my city. So here's the heating panel. I can build a fossil boiler station using fossil fuels. I can use geothermal heating, and you can see there the cost per month is about 500. And then I have to do a heating pipe, which is going to cost me 100 per cell, which is like per segment. And then it's going to cost extra money to maintain. But if you think about it, right now I'm spending a lot of money, almost $2,000 just to have an extra power plant to support the extra power usage. So as my city grows, it's going to pay to actually have centralized heating because the marginal cost is going to be much lower than that. There's also trams, which I haven't decided if I want to put where I want to put them yet. I'm thinking I want to do one for here, this main thoroughfare here, but I haven't decided yet because then I have to build tram stations. I might do it here actually for the trams. So let's have a look there. Here's our trams. Oh right, and this is the, before I forget, this is the new vehicle line manager. If you've seen some of my Let's Plays, you see that I use a mod that someone made it to manage my line. So the developers actually looked at that mod and said, actually, that's a really good idea. We're going to basically take that functionality and put it into the game. So they now have basically the whole functionality that we had from that mod into the game. So I've actually unloaded that mod. So one less mod is nice, because mods, as nice as they are not really optimized by the developers. So sometimes you run into speed issues. One of the things actually I did to be able to play this game was I had to, I think this vehicle mod, advanced vehicle options mod that lets me control what kind of cars pop in the game, might actually have a slight conflict. So what I did is I went to the options menu and I turned down, on the device of someone on the forums, I turned down this randomized speed of vehicles, because I think that's what's causing my system to slow down, and you know, it shouldn't be running that hot for a 47k city. So that's what I did at the moment, and that seems to have helped. Okay, what else is there? There might be new park buildings. No. Right, in the Snowfall maps there are new park buildings like snowmen, and you've probably seen that already. Snow, like a campfire building, but those don't carry over into this version. And you can see here we're about morning, and my electricity consumption actually is lower today. So I'm not sure if they have actually implemented seasons, but the last time I ran through a day and night cycle, the morning was pretty brutal. Like I was using almost 700 megawatts of electricity. But today is fine. You'll also note that I disabled the sun shaft mod, the mod that lets me have like nice shafts of sunlight, because it didn't look that great at night. All the street lights had like streaks going through the sky, and I found that it was maybe unsupported because it was no longer supported since the last... Actually, since the vanilla game day. I don't think it was updated for After Dark. So yeah, because it was no longer supported, I just decided to disable it, since I felt like it was maybe not the best for the game in terms of performance. And you can see here the roads are slick, nice and slick because of the rain overnight. And that's one of the, I guess, visually, one of the nice things about After Dark or Snowfall is, you know, if it rains, then your roads become slick. And actually, you'll see here the sky is now also dynamic. So those clouds are actually forming and disappearing. And if it's rainy, it'll just be gray. There's actually an option in the options menu to turn that off or on. So if you turn that off, you'll just see the old sky, which is basically a bitmap or some kind of pre-made sky setting that doesn't change. So this one's a lot more dynamic. The clouds, you can see the clouds forming and going away. And again, that's a nice new thing in Snowfall DLC. Yeah, so that's kind of a quick overview of Snowfall, or Rainfall, as I like to call it, for existing owners of an existing city. This is what you'll get: you'll get rain instead of snow, and you'll also get a whole bunch of new buildings. The tram stations, you'll get the road maintenance depots, heating. You also get a new health building. I think I went through all of these. Do we get any new school buildings? No, these are mods that I've downloaded. Yeah, so we get trams. And I also noticed that they move a bunch of roads into the transportation menu. So these roads with taxis and buses are now in the bus menu, although you can still access them through here. You'll still find them through here. But they kind of repeat them here for easier navigation. So yeah, on my Let's Play, I want to try trams on one of the roads here at some point. City station, yeah, these are mods. I don't think there's anything new here. There is possibly new landmarks. I'll have to check. think this is a mod I downloaded. This lighthouse is definitely a mod I downloaded. Yeah, I don't think there's new landmarks yet that they've added. They did talk about possibly rebalancing solar, but I didn't hear anything about it. They also apparently did fix the tourism bug that caused cities with a certain level of attractiveness, which means if your city has a lot of like stadiums and the space elevator and stuff like that, it's going to be too attractive. Actually, you'll get negative tourists. So they've apparently fixed that. So actually, one thing I noticed was my number of tourists have actually gone up because of the patch. So we'll say, yeah. So that's kind of what the expansion has to offer. And thank you for watching. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.